How we all doing? Friday lunchtime. How we all doing, guys? Couple of things to get into. You know, a couple of shocks. In terms of transfer news that obviously broke last night, and obviously, yeah. Again, when I heard it, I was shocked, but again, not too surprising. I think I would say in the end because certain team they always do these kind of when no one's really paying attention, and they get these kind of things over the line. Yeah, big up Kokic, man. Big up for coming on. So yeah, guys, got a couple things to get into. Obviously, Manchester United securing a 4-1 victory on the night, 5-2 in aggregate against Real Sociedad. How do we think that United will do against Lyon in the next round? Do we think United were fortunate to go through? Do we think United played well? So yeah, we'll be getting into that to start with, and obviously I want to touch on the Paul Pogba as well. Obviously, Fabrizio Romano has said a couple of things on Paul Pogba, and also the England squad that's been announced by Thomas Tuchel. His first England squad. I think for me, there's a few surprises in the squad, and there's also a few absences from the squad as well. So yeah, I've written down the squad, and I've put in a few names as well for me that I was shocked to see not in the squad. And obviously there's obviously been a recall as well from Marcus Rashford. So we'll get into that. So again, yesterday's game, I think in comparison to how United have been playing as of late, I think United I think they played decent. I think the first half was poor. I think the decision making in the first half wasn't good. But obviously Amorim kind of probably got into them at half time, and probably changed he changed the mentality of the team to go more on the front foot. And of course, in the end it ended up 4-1. Bruno Fernandes getting a hat trick, two penalties. And his last goal, to be fair, was very good. It was a good team goal. So yeah, he'll take the headlines, and obviously Diego Dallo getting the fourth as well. But how much was that? How much was that down to the sending off? I still think United had enough to beat Real Sociedad, because Real Sociedad were poor. Let's be honest. Obviously, if you look at players they've had down the years, the likes of Alexander Isak, Martin Odegaard, obviously they got Martin Zubimendi who returned, who I don't think played that well. Big up Mikel Romeo, say for coming on. Guys, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel at Gav Goes In. And but yeah, I still think that United had enough to beat Real Sociedad on the night, but definitely the sending off in the second half confirmed that, really. And then I think yeah, United just took over. And to be fair, they played some decent stuff, but I think people are going to be getting, as I said yesterday, going a bit over the top. I think it's good that United kept their Europa League chances alive. Obviously, financially, it's important, but I think that expectations still have to be in order. Because against Lyon, it will be a tougher test, and United will need to obviously play a lot better. But it would have been interesting to see if it was down to if there wasn't a sending off, to see if they would have to see if Real Sociedad would have come back into the game. But nonetheless, United got the win, which was much needed. And it's a well needed relief for the fan base, really. So yeah, I was happy with the result in the end. But again, there's still a long way to go, and again, United will have to play a lot better against the likes of Lyon. Big up, Dasa Mulan Damu. Yeah, big up, man, for coming on. As I said, guys, yeah, give me your questions. Put your comments in, and yeah, we'll get into this. So, gonna go through the match ratings. So first off, Andre Onana for me. Onana for me didn't really have too much to do, you know. That's Samula and Damu. Yeah, you can obviously if it's football related, man. Obviously it's a football channel, man. So yeah, if it's football related, man, put your chat in there. Would appreciate. But yeah, for me, Andre Onana with the penalty didn't really have much to do other than pick the ball out of his net for the penalty. Again, yeah, sorry. Yeah, Damu, I'll get back onto your message in a minute. So I think that, you know, as we know with penalties, Onana isn't really that great at penalties. Big up Chandy98. Yeah, guys, I'll get back onto your comments in a minute. I'm trying to finish off what I'm saying. So I think, yeah, Andre Onana had a decent game. You know, as I said, don't think he done too much wrong. You know, obviously with Onana, we know he's going to be a next season, and next season's going to be a massive season. So I think United just need to just get through the season, you know, win that Europa League, and then we can kind of look forward to seeing what's going to happen, really, whether that's with Ruben Amorim or not, you know. Going on to the defence, for me, the real captain for me, Matthias de Ligt, another great performance. I thought he was harshly given a penalty against him, you know, but again, in situations like that, I kind of expected it because he did clip Mikael Raffabel on the hill, and you can see that he did try to pull out as well. But again, in Europe especially, these kind of things are going to be given. Big up Amir Gunzo as well. So yeah, I thought De Ligt, everything he done, you know, he was dominant. You know, he was spraying the ball around. I like his tenacity, the Matthias de Ligt, and he is comfortable in possession as well. So I thought he had a great game. And alongside him, Aiden Heaven. You know, look at Aiden Heaven. He's come from nowhere, from Arsenal. You know, this is a guy for me that has to be starting. You know, and I think when we very first see him come on against Arsenal, you can kind of see that the guy had some serious composure about himself. You know, and again, he's another one. You know, he's quick in the wide areas. You know, he's comfortable on the ball, left-footed as well, which gives that balance. So for me, yeah, big up a local edits dude. Yeah, big up, man. We're gonna get onto Chelsea in a minute as well because there's some news that I've heard yesterday. But so yeah, Aiden Heaven for me was very good yesterday. You know, he kept Kubo fairly quiet. You know, I know Kubo got the nuts in on him earlier on in the game, but yeah, I think there's a lot of potential for sure with Aiden Heaven, and for me, he has to be involved to the end of the season. You know, regularly. But I thought he had a great game. Again, along with Mazraoui, Mr. Consistent. So for me, Mazraoui, you know, rarely has a bad game. You know, I think if he has a game which is not expected of him, which is a bit below par, he still puts in a 6 out of 10 anyway. You know, which is average. So, but yeah, another assured display from Mazraoui. You know, obviously he has a bundles of energy. You know, he's very very competent on the ball as well. And for me, yeah, I just think that wherever he plays, really, he's definitely a better as a right side or left sided centre back in the system. I think playing him as a wing back, you're nullifying his strengths, you know, and for sure, he's someone that going forward, even if he's not a definite starter, which again is going to be hard to find someone to better him. He definitely is a squad is definitely part of Man United's future and as a squad player or as a starter for me, you know. So just gonna go into some of the comments. Big up Brantley Cows. Brantley Cows says, I love your hair. Do you know what? In actual fact, Brantley, man, it's looking a bit dry this morning, I would say, you know. I don't know, maybe it's the cameraman, but nah, big up, man. Big up for your comment. You know, I do try, you know. But yeah, guys, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to my channel at Gav Goes In. So yeah, should I go back on some of the comments? So Dasmula and Damu. Guys, if you can help with this one. So that's a Mula and Damu says a cow has 4 of them, but a woman has just 2. What is it? So a cow has 4 of them, but a woman has just 2. What is it? Tough one, I don't know. I ain't got a clue with this one. So a cow has 4 of them, but a woman. Oh right, is it others? Let me know. Is it others? Big up Chandy98. So Chandy98 says, what you think of Arsenal's chances versus Madrid? Nah, Arsenal going out, man. Yeah. Again, the fact that Real Madrid got through Atletico Madrid when, let's be honest, over the 2 legs, Atletico were the better team, and Real Madrid somehow get their way through to the next round. As Jose Mourinho said, football heritage, and in this competition, you can't bet against Real Madrid, you know. And for sure, I don't know how they overcame Atletico, because Atletico were definitely the better team. But this is what Real Madrid do. They just know how to get the job done. And I know the Julian Alvarez penalty for me was a shock, because I didn't actually realize that was the rule. I think he should have been allowed to retake the penalty for sure. But yeah, for me, Arsenal ain't got a prayer against Real Madrid. You know, I think when it comes down to it, Real Madrid's quality is going to tell in the end. Because again, with Real Madrid, they got so many match winners, so much know-how in their squad. It's littered with winners, you know, and yeah, they'll definitely be the favourites, and I expect them to go through as well. So there should be no problems really. I think Arsenal. I'll say Arsenal are capable of causing a couple of problems, I would say. You know, I think Arsenal are going to sit in a low block for sure, to allow no space for the likes of Mbappe and Vinicius Junior's pace. And this is, for me, this is where Rodrigo is going to be key, because Rodrigo has pace, but out of all 3 of them, he's the one that has the most guile. So I think he's going to be the one that is going to open up the low block defence. And again, there's going to be key battles all over the pitch. But I can see Arsenal, sorry, sitting in and then trying to exploit Martinelli's pace on the counter. Especially away from home, they'll be doing that. I think at home, depending on the result from the first leg, I think Arsenal. Actually, no, I think Arsenal are playing at home. Actually, I think depending on the results from either leg, I think Arsenal. Again, if Arsenal was to, you know, if they're at home, they're probably going to go slightly more on the front foot. But away from home, you'd expect them to sit in the low block for sure, and yeah, let Real Madrid come on to them. But yeah, for me, Real Madrid are definitely winning that game. I don't see any problems there. But yeah, big up the Channy98 for your message. So Channy98 also says, thanks Bayern for letting Mazraoui go for 10 million just for saying free Palestine. Yeah, big up Channy98. Yeah, exactly, man. I'll be honest with you. The Mazraoui signing has surprised me, because again, obviously knowing Mazraoui when he was at Ajax, when he was at Bayern Munich, I just thought of Mazraoui as a decent defender. You know, I knew he had his qualities going forward and obviously defensively as well. But when he's at your team, you actually realise what a good footballer he actually is. You know, and what an asset he is to the club. So to get him for 10 million in this era of football now, again, is a steal, man. Because even if United was to, let's say, move him on and sell him, United could easily make 30 million from him minimum, you know, such as his qualities. So yeah, I'm happy with the Mazraoui signing. But big up for your comment. So a local edits dude says, is this the Man United one? Elaborate, man. I don't understand what you mean. Is it a Man United channel, you mean? Because if it is, it's, yeah, I'm a Man United fan, man, but I'm not a Man United channel. I'm just someone that just loves football. And it can be any team, really. You know, we can get into that, man. But big up for your comment. Big up, yeah, Brantness Cows. I love your hair. The channel, it says it's legs. Oh, legs. Okay, okay. Yeah, big up, Channy 98. So your local edits do says women have 206 bones, meanwhile men chilling with 27. Oh, sorry, men chilling with 207. Big up, Barbara Joseph says you are gorgeous. Yeah, big up for that, Barbara. Appreciate that. Big up Daniela Kona as well for saying, yeah, big up. So no, like where you just speaking about Maine? Yeah, yeah. No, I'm talking about Maine at the moment, but I'm gonna go on to some other stuff as well. Obviously, got the England squad that's just recently been announced that I'm gonna go on to. And obviously as well, Fabrizio Romano's had an update on the likes of Paul Pogba, which I'm gonna go on to. So yeah, just going through the Man United team again. So we've done a defense. Into midfield, Bruno Fernandes, as I said, got the hat trick. You know, his actual performance for me wasn't as good as a lot of people are making out to be. Um, yeah, big up Chandy. Yeah, I do watch MMA. I do. I don't watch it as much now, but I do try to catch up with it when I get the chance. So for me, Bruno Fernandes getting the hat trick again. People are going to be focusing on that, you know. But for me, I didn't think he had a great performance. I just thought he had a good performance, you know. And obviously, the hat trick is obviously has increased the rating that people will give him, which is always going to happen. But for me, I think you'd have to give Bruno a 7.5 out of 10 for the hat trick, really, in total. So I'm not too fussed with that. But what I would say, there's going to be tougher tests coming up, and can Bruno perform when it really matters in the crucial moments, you know? And this is what it's gonna be. So, but yeah, no, he got the hat trick, so fair enough. So big up your local edits. Do says, do you just speak about Prem teams, or is it like just the top 5 leagues? So yeah, I mean, listen, whatever team you want to talk about, man. Like, my array of football knowledge is second to none. So yeah, whatever team you want to talk about, man. If it's players, whatever, yeah, just put it in the chat, man. So yeah, Casemiro next to him had a great performance, but again, it was more of a leader's performance. You know, Casemiro's been doing this throughout the years. You know, I'm not going to dwell too much on Casemiro because we all know that he's just a top player. And again, what made me laugh yesterday with Casemiro is that when Dallo got dispossessed by the bar line, by the byline, you can see Casemiro coming for the tackle, and it's the look that he gave Dallo. Like, that look was funny, to be fair, because it was a look of, you know, like what are you doing, in the sense, to Dallo. So yeah, that was funny. But yeah, a great performance from Casemiro, and again, he's probably going to be moved on in the summer. But why he's here, you have to play to his strengths, and give him as much game time as possible, you know. And if he needs to come off, then again, rest his legs, man. But there's no doubting that Casemiro still has the experience and the quality when it really matters, you know. And again, against 10 men, you know, but he was still good. Even in the first half, I thought, as well. So yeah, Patrick Dorgu for me was a threat on that left hand side. I think in the first half he wasn't really too much in the game, but second half he come into his own. And again, what Dorgu offers on that left hand side, you know, is a natural left foot, and obviously the pace and strength to cause problems, you know. And he done that all game. Yeah, big up Reluctant Gamer. So yeah, I thought he had a good game. Obviously, had a hand in uh in the penalty as well. Oh, sorry, in the sending off, should I say? Obviously, he won a penalty, but obviously it wasn't a penalty. But I thought all game, and especially in that second half, you know, he did cause a lot of problems, you know. And for me, just like um, just like Bruno, I would say, um, he had an impact in a different way. Bruno had an impact with goals, obviously two penalties, but his last goal was very good. And I think Dorgu with his threat had like a similar impact as well. So I'm going to give Dorgu I'd say a 7 out of 10. And for me, Casemiro gets a 7 out of 10 as well. On the other side, Dalot. Again, Dalot had another performance where it's becoming a bit often now. You know, I don't think Dalot was amazing, but I think he just done his job, and obviously he got a goal in the end. Yeah, your locals edits do. Don't worry, man. We'll speak about that in a minute. So yeah, I think Dalot had a decent game. Obviously, just mentioned he got dispossessed for a potential chance that Casemiro cut out. But obviously him getting the goal obviously added the icing on the cake to the result. But yeah, for me, just like Bruno, there's going to be tougher tests ahead, you know. So these guys are going to have to be playing a lot better when it really matters, you know. So yeah, but I think out of 10, probably give Dalot a 6. Garnacho, again, Garnacho got an assist for Bruno's goal, you know. But other than that, again, with Garnacho, because he's got a bit of pace, he offers something a bit different to what United have already, you know. So it's not that Garnacho's actually playing well; he's just offering a different kind of option, you know. So for the moment, he's actually doing a job for the moment. But when Man United have a full team, you know, or in the summer if they want to go and reinvest in that squad, if they can, you know, for me he doesn't have a place in this squad. And again, yesterday he didn't really play well, but he just played his part in a team performance, I would say. Yeah, and obviously he got the assist for Bruno, but again, another average display. And just like I said about Bruno and Dalot, again, there's going to be tougher tests ahead. So what can he do in games like that, really? So that's what's going to be looked forward to, I would say. Joshua Zirkzee for me. Again, I'm not going to dwell as much on Joshua Zirkzee, because it's very clear to see that Joshua Zirkzee is just a top footballer, you know, and the guy just oozes class, you know. Again, in this system, you know, Amorim has made it clear he's going to play him as a 10, you know. I prefer seeing Zirkzee playing the 9, or even if Amorim was to get moved on in the summer and the manager comes in and plays a 4-2-3-1, you'll see Joshua Zirkzee restored back to the striker's role. But as long as Zirkzee's playing, man, that's the main thing, you know. You know, the guy's got so much quality, you know, and he's going to go from strength to strength. And yesterday, some of the touches he was doing, you know, he's dribbling, he's passing, was class, you know what I mean? And again, you come to expect that of a player of his quality, you know. So I'm not going to dwell too much on it. It's just great to see that Xerxes finally getting his praise, you know, after the booing he got when he got subbed off earlier in the season. So so yeah, man, I'm happy to see that. And then you go to Rasmus Højlund. Again, it's very obvious to see that there were certain players that were trying to set up Rasmus Højlund for the goal. You know, for me, you know, it's a problem there when you think about it, because again, they're taking pity on him. Really, they're actually feeling sorry for him. So the fact that they're trying to set him up for a goal, you know, just shows that they know he's struggling. He knows he's struggling, and yeah, it's just it's worrying times. I think what's that 21 games now that Rasmus has gone without a goal, you know. And what makes me sick, to be honest with you, is that you hear these commentators, the likes of Robbie Savage, disgrace the way Robbie Savage was just hailing up Rasmus Højlund for mediocre things. Shows you not only the state of commentary in this country, but how certain players are afforded licenses, you know. And Rasmus Højlund has gone 21 games without a goal, you know. Let's just say if that was Joshua Zirkzee, or a Martial, you know, they wouldn't be getting this sort of freedom. You know, these people will be saying, "Oh, these guys are not good enough. They're lazy, this and that." And again, we all know why that is. You know, I haven't really got to spell it out to you, but the state of commentary in this country is concerning. And for me, Rasmus Højlund just ain't good enough, you know. And yesterday was yeah, big up Ninja Man. Yesterday was a better performance in comparison to what he has been putting in, but still it isn't good enough. You know, he had one shot off his right foot, which again, lack of composure, and he just scuffed the ball into the ground, you know, and he got cleared comfortably. But yeah, in the summer, United have a big decision to make. For me, it's not a big decision because if United have got anything about them, they'll just look to move him on because he's just nowhere near the level. Any striker at the club that's gone 21 games without a goal, you know, regardless if you're not getting any chances, which they keep saying, which he is, you know, if his general play was decent, then you know there'll be a bit more support in that sense. But he just ain't good enough, man. And yeah, how long is this run going to continue? 2 league goals for someone that costs 72 million is nothing short of embarrassing. And as I said, man, he needs to be moved on for sure. So yeah, that's my ratings. I'll give oh sorry, going back to Garnacho, 6 out of 10. Joshua Xerxes for me was a strong 8. And Rasmus for me was a 6 out of 10, you know. But just going back onto the messages. So your locals edits dude says, after you spoke about this, could you speak about my favourite player from my nation, aka Scotland, Scott McTominay, just his performances at Napoli? To be honest with you, I haven't been watching too much of Napoli, if I'm honest. But what I would say is that Scott McTominay, in terms of his physicality, you know, he has got an eye for goal. Him going to the Italian league and doing decent wasn't really a surprise because, as I said, with the Italian league, and I said this previously, the Italian league is more of a slower pace, you know, and I would probably say that in terms of the physicality and the running power that McTominay has, there isn't too many players probably in that league that offer that, especially from midfield, because it's more of a tactical, slower league. But for me, McTominay was never Man United level. He should have been moved on years ago. But the fact that he's doing well at Napoli, yeah, like it's not really a surprise, you know. Has he found his level? People would say, you know. But for sure, he has got an eye for goal, you know, and he is a threat in the air. Obviously, being 6 foot, and he is someone that just runs all day. So it's not really a surprise. But for me, he was never good enough in the first place to come through United's academy into the first team and be somewhat of a starter. And the fact that he's been moved on, I don't have a problem with that, really. I just think United need to just, if they are going to bring players from the youth, they have to be of real quality, you know, because as I've mentioned previously, some of the players that have come through United's youth team in recent times just ain't good enough, you know. If we're talking about players from that have real quality that have come through, the likes of Paul Pogba, you know, Mason Greenwood, Angel Gomez, Ravel Morrison, you know, even someone like Giuseppe Rossi as well, people might remember. These are players of real quality. So, yeah, the fact that McTominay came through shows you what kind of period that the club was in at the time, and the fact that he's moved on, you know what I mean. To be fair, it's good for me, if I'm honest. Yeah, so that's the Man United against Real Sociedad, obviously going through. Just gonna touch on a couple of things. Fabrizio Romano report about Paul Pogba, saying Paul Pogba is open to offers. You know, obviously Pogba can resume playing at the middle of this month. For me, it's a must. United need to go and get Pogba. You know, I know Pogba hasn't played for a little while, but someone of that quality, that genuine quality, you know what I mean? You can't pass up opportunities like that, you know? And again, the money's going to be a big factor, you know, but I think you're not paying nothing for Pogba. So bringing him in, bringing him back, should I say, for me is a no-brainer. And him in that midfield, you know, he's going to add so much quality, extra bit of quality in that midfield. You know, even if they do a deal to the end of the season to see how he does, you know, I'm fine with that. But some of that quality needs to be playing. And I would love him to come back to United at the current state the club is in. And he would give a much needed boost because he's a likable player as well. On his day, he's the best midfielder in the world. No one has the qualities that this player has, and for me, I would love him to come back. But if he's open to offers, again, people can take it a different way. Some people might say that, it's just PR for him, and there might not be no one coming forward. But someone like that, he's gonna have suitors, man. So, and I'm hoping one of them is Man United, and I'm hoping he does come home, and has a career, what's left of it, that he can look back on and say, he's had a decent one, and not even a decent one, a good one, and he kind of fulfills, the potential from young that we all knew when he first come onto the scene. Had, obviously World Cup winner. Obviously people might say club wise he hasn't really done enough, but I think just looking at the footballer himself, he's a top footballer, man, and not many players in world football from any generation has the qualities that this guy has. So I'm hoping that he comes back, but I have to wait and see. And again, last night it broke. Geovany Quenda, someone that I wanted at United. Again, there was links with the Sporting Lisbon because Amram's obviously at United, but I wanted Quenda because having a Quenda and Ahmad link up on that right hand side, was, for me, would have been very good. Arguably could have been one of the best combinations in the league. But we're hearing that Quenda's snubbed United to go to Chelsea. And again, this is what Chelsea does. Chelsea just come out from nowhere and just get deals done. And the way Chelsea operate, I like. There's no messing around. They just get things done. And yeah, man, it's frustrating, because I wanted Quenda to come to United, but it looks like that's not going to be happening. So yeah, it's a bit frustrating, but for me, I wanted Quenda, Tyler Dibbling on that right hand side. So for me, they have to go and get Tyler Dibbling now for sure. I'm just going through some of the comments. So big up Ali. So Ali says bottle of water and says, what's your occupation? So my occupation, I'm a qualified personal trainer, and obviously I work in a school as well as a teacher, man. Yeah, so that's what I do. And obviously I've got my YouTube channel that I'm trying to build, man, which with the support of you guys, hopefully it can grow. Yeah, big up your locals. Edit Stu says, can I talk about Chelsea? Well, I've got a few things to go through, man. So if I get a bit of time at the end, then we'll touch on them. Big up Reluctant Gamer. Who do you support? So I support Manchester United. My two favourite teams are Man United and Barcelona. They're my two favourite teams to just from growing up. Yeah. So yeah. I will get back onto some of your comments in a bit and go through what I've got. The England squad now. So Thomas Tuchel's announced his latest England squad, which we're going to go through. Again, there was some surprise absentees from the squad. I'll big up Reluctant Gamer, man. Yeah, as I said, guys, I'll get back onto your comments in a minute. So we're going to go through the England squad, some surprise absentees. Obviously, a most notable recall for Marcus Rashford. I think the Rashford recall, I would say it's a bit... Well, the thing is, it's not surprising, I would say, because Rashford's got a massive profile. But it just shows you, innit, that when you have a massive profile, you don't really need to do too much to get yourself back in the reckoning. If you've got a manager that rates you, yeah, big up, Dan Burns in there. Big up Reluctant Gamer. Rashford, for me, since he's gone to Aston Villa, I don't think he's played, like, out of this world. He has got a few assists, don't get me wrong. But it just shows you that some players don't have to do too much to get recalls back to squads, I would say. And obviously, I know England have got a few injuries as well. But Thomas Tuchel's come in and just put him straight back in. So, and if Thomas Tuchel can do that, that just means that he rates Rashford really highly. So, yeah. But it's mad. But I think what else is mad, obviously, Rashford is obviously on loan from me at Man United, but there's no Man United player in the squad. And again, Kobe Minu, if he was fit, would Kobe Minu be in the squad? I don't know. So it's kind of concerning again that United have no players in the England squad. You know, that is concerning. No players in the national squad, which shows you again the state that this club are in. You know, as I mentioned, Kobe Manu possibly could have been in there, but who's to say that? I'm not sure if Tuchel would have definitely picked him. You never know. But yeah, man, it's mad. So we're gonna go through the England squad. So I've put some notes down. So we got 4 goalkeepers in Dean Henderson, who's been in good form for Crystal Palace. Jordan Pickford, obviously, has been a number 1 for a while. Aaron Ramsdale, which, again, I was quite surprised to see because Southampton bottom of the league. And he has made a few saves, but obviously, if your goalkeeper's bottom of the league, you know, when's it time to give a chance to someone else? I know Nick Pope's just returned from injury, but I'm trying to think who else. Who are the other English keepers in the league? So he might have just gone in there by default, really. And then you got James Trafford from Burnley, who I think Trafford might be the future number 1 for England. You know, and so those 4 keepers were to be expected. As I said, I think Nick Pope just returned from injury, and I think if Nick Pope was probably fit, I think the likes of Ramsdale might not have been in the squad. But again, I can't really think of any other goalkeepers around the world. If you guys can think of any more, put that in the chat. Big up, is it Jack Intoff? I say I'm from London, man. I'm originally from London, yeah. Obviously live in Essex at the moment. But yeah, guys, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to my channel at Gav Goes In. And then we're going to move on to the defenders. Now, what the defense was a bit surprising for me, I would say. But from what I can see, a lot of the players that Tuchel has gone for are players that can play in more than one position, especially in defence. So as Reluctant Gamer mentioned, Dan Burn, you know, that was an inclusion that I didn't see coming. You know, that was a shock for me. But again, Dan Burn can play both left back and centre back. You know, so your local edits dude says, "What kind of car you got?" A very nice one. But yeah, back to what I was saying, man. Yeah, so Dan Burn can play both left back and centre back. You know, so again, a multifunctional player, you would say, in the squad. And the same with Levi Colwill. I know Levi Colwill has been playing centre back this season, but he's also someone that has played left back for England as well. So I think he's gone for 2 players there in Colwill and Burn that both can play centre back and left back. You know. And what will be interesting to see as well is, will Tuchel play 3 at the back for England? Because I think the squad that he's picked has that in mind, I would say. But yeah, Burn and Cole, both players that can play left side centre back and centre back. Then you've got Mark Guehi, again, Crystal Palace captain in the squad. There's no surprises there. Right back, Reece James, who I'm happy to see recalled. For me, Reece James on his day, if he stays fit, for me, is the best right back, not only in the league, but in world football. I think he's that good. I think there's no really weaknesses to Reece James's game apart from injury, you know. And if he stays fit, you know, I think he's the best right back in the world for me. You know, I think on his day he can go and play for any team in the world. He's that good, you know. So it's good to see him back in the squad. You got Ezri Konsa, Aston Villa. Again, massive fan of Ezri Konsa. I think Konsa, for me, is one of England's best defenders, you know, and has been for a couple of seasons now. You know, very composed on the ball, pace and strength as well. And again, playing in the Champions League is adding to his profile. So for me, yeah, he's a very good player, Konsa. For me, he should be starting, but I don't know how Tuchel's gonna line up, you know, because as I said, this squad looks like it's got a free at the back. debut in the squad for Lewis Skelly, and I think thoroughly deserved as well. Again, Lewis Skelly, centre midfielder by trade, but has been playing left back for Arsenal. And again, if you're playing a four at the back, left back, can play as a wing back, I believe, as well. So yeah, I think his inclusion, especially with the likes of Lewis Hall that's out injured, was deserved. And yeah, no problems there. And then you've got Tino Livramento from Newcastle. And again, Livramento for me is someone that's in the squad because of his versatility. Can play both right and left back. And I think he was someone that that was definitely going to be in the squad, because if I look at the squad now, there ain't really no one that can play right back and left back comfortably like what he does. You know, I think you had the likes of Kieran Trippier that could do the same thing, but obviously he's now retired. So Livramento really has more or less taken over that mantle, I would say. And again, can play as a wing back and can play as one of the four, as one of the right back or left back as well. So I think that's been a good inclusion. Jarell Quansah, I was surprised at that. You know, hasn't really been playing regularly for Liverpool. But again, he's someone that can play centre-back and right-back, you know, and obviously they have a few injuries as well, England. So someone like Quansah, I didn't expect to see him in the squad, but obviously Tuchel likes what he offers, you know. And then Carl Walker, again, obviously Carl Walker, the most experienced defender there. And me personally, I thought Carl Walker was going to be, you know, fizzled out of the squad. But obviously he's going to be one of the leaders in the squad still. And that's probably what Tuchel is probably looking for. So, yeah, it's mad because I'm trying to think of, obviously, Trent's out injured. I'll tell you what would have been funny, though, is that if Trent wasn't injured, who would have come out? I think it could have been, looking from that list there. You're probably looking at, does he want to go with new players? Does he go with new players and play and keep the likes of Livramento, Lewis Skelly there? You know, could Quansah have missed out on the squad? So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Trent was there, because he might have been the replacement for Walker, you know, but who knows? So moving on to midfield. So big up Surya. So Surya says, do you do semen retention? What a question. What a question. Do I do semen retention? Now that would be telling, wouldn't it? That would be, I can't really comment on that one, you know. It's a bit of a mad question, you know. Let's keep it strictly football, please. But yeah, so going on to midfield. But big up for coming on anyway. So going on to midfield. Again, Jude Bellingham was obviously going to be in there. Eberechi Eze. Again, Eze can play as a 10 or play as a left winger as well. Then you've got Jordan Henderson. Again, did not see that one coming, you know. And for me, Jordan Henderson is a difficult one, because for me, bringing him back is there. You know what I mean? You're going backwards, I believe, bringing him back. But is it a case where he wants to bring him in for his experience, which I don't really agree with, you know, because if you look at the whole squad, there's a fair bit of experience in there anyway, you know. And so Surya says, do you do celibacy? No. What are these mad questions, Surya? Make sure you subscribe to my channel though, and smash that like button. Would be appreciated. Stop spamming the chat as well with these mad questions. But so yeah, Jordan Henderson, I don't really get that one, you know. There's no Angel Gomez. I don't know if Gomez is injured, but I would have had Gomez in there. Again, there's other players that I'm going to go on to as well, which I'm surprised are not in the squad. Curtis Jones, yeah, I can see Curtis Jones, you know, decent player. Again, Curtis Jones, is he going to start? You wouldn't expect him, probably part of the squad. Has had a decent season for Liverpool, to be fair. Yeah, big up Surya, big up for subscribing. Cole Palmer, again, another certainty in the squad. Palmer hasn't been good for the last couple of months, you would say, but his quality is there for everyone to see. Big up your locals edits, dude. Yeah, guys, what I'll do, I'll get back to your comments in a minute. I'm just gonna obviously finish this through this England squad. So yeah, Cole Palmer again can play as a 10, can play on the right. Declan Rice again, another one that's no surprise there. And then Morgan Rogers, who for me, I have to say, I think Morgan Rogers is one of the best attacking midfielders in the league. You know, and for me, I'd be starting him for England. We all know he's not going to start because there's a certain someone that again isn't a 10, Jude Bellingham, but because of his standing in football, world football, is Tuchel gonna succumb to the pressure and play him there? But for me, Morgan Rogers is a proper number 10 and has to be playing there. But again, he's not expected to start, let's say. But again, a lot of the players in this midfield, you've got the likes of Eze and Palmer that can both play out wide, but both players number 10s. And then you've got specialists, you would say, in positions. Yeah, big up Surya. In Henderson, Declan Rice, who are central midfielders. Curtis Jones, again, can play as a central midfielder. Could play as a 10 as well, you know. And then you've got Bellingham again, who is a central midfielder, but are they going to play him as a 10? And then Morgan Rogers for me is a 10. So, yeah, it's a lot of players in the squad that can play multiple positions, you know. Multifunctional players, I would say, in the squad. And then you look at the forwards. Again, the forwards for me, I'm not too sure. I don't think it's the strongest set of forwards, if I'm honest. Jared Bowen, again, another player that, just like Curtis Jones, you're not really going to see them start, but they'll be part of a squad. Again, Jared Bowen, right winger, can play as a striker as well. Phil Foden. Again, Phil Foden is in the squad because he's Phil Foden, really. I don't think Foden has been that great this season. I know he went on a recent run of scoring a few goals, but on the whole, I think he had a poor season. And I think the main thing about Phil Foden is that I think Phil Foden's regressed as a footballer. Like, he has his qualities, don't get me wrong, but in terms of the level that a lot of people thought he was going to get to, I don't think he's nowhere near that. And I don't think at the moment he's going to get there because I don't know, there's something about Foden. As a footballer, he's a very, very good footballer, but I don't think he has that X factor about him in terms of what a Cole Palmer does, you know. And again, he's in the squad, but is he someone that is likely to start? I think if you're picking England's team tomorrow and everyone's fit, Foden doesn't start. And again, the hype that Foden was getting from young, that seems very mad to say, but that's how much he's kind of regressed for me, you know. And I still think he's a good footballer, but yeah, he isn't what he was meant to go on to be. And I think, what is he, 20? He's 24 now, I think, 24, 25, I think he might be. But yeah, he's in the squad. And then we got Anthony Gordon. Again, I don't think Gordon's fit at the moment. So I think he's missing the Carabao Cup tomorrow. But again, yeah, he's in the squad, which isn't really a surprise. Rashford, again, has been recalled, you know. And Gordon kind of has overtaken Rashford in the pecking order as well. So the fact that Thomas Tuchel has... Gordon got a red card, did he? What? Who was that against? 3-game ban. What is that? Was that a league game against? Who was that against? Was that against Nottingham Forest? Or I didn't actually realise that. Is that why? Is that what it is then? He's banned. Oh, Brighton in the FA Cup, he got red card. I didn't even see that. So that's why he's missing. Okay, makes sense then. All right. So bloody hell, that's mad. I didn't actually realise that. So yeah, so Gordon I see. So yeah, he is fit. So yeah, yeah, Anthony Gordon in there, no surprise. Obviously, Harry Kane. You know what I mean? There's no point going to Harry Kane. obviously captain, and Kane again. He expect him to play both games, and then Dominic Solanke just returned from injury, So again, the squad itself, I was quite surprised with a few of them in there, but yeah, I think they're playing Albania and Latvia. You'll expect England to just win both games comfortably, But again, seeing England play against these teams for me is boring. I like seeing England play up against the real nations and seeing where they stand in terms of international football against the real teams, the likes of your Spain's, your Germany's, Portugal's, Holland, Italy, France, Belgium. When England play these teams, this is when I take it more seriously, not against these Albanians and Latvias where they are expected to beat them, But again, there was a few players that didn't get called up, which I'm surprised about. There was talk about Elliot Anderson from Nottingham Forest. Had a very good season. He could have been in there above the likes of Jordan Henderson as well. Obviously, Henderson's playing for Ajax. Elliot Anderson obviously is playing in the Premier League, and I thought he would have got called up. Obviously, he can represent Scotland as well, I think. So the fact that he didn't get called up was quite surprising, if you want to give opportunities as well. Morgan Gibbs-White, again, how Morgan Gibbs-White is not in this squad. And I think the thing with Morgan Gibbs-White, and this is where it's difficult, because Gibbs-White is a number 10. And if you look at the number 10s in this team, you've already got Bellingham, who they play as a 10, and we're looking at the likes of Morgan Rogers, who for me should be starting, might not start because Bellingham's there. And this is the problem. You've also got Eze, who's a 10, but can play on the left as well. The same with Cole Palmer. So the fact that Gibbs-White's not in there, again, is it must be frustrating for him, but he's in a situation where the midfield is stacked, and there's obviously a lot of favoritism as well with certain players, and that's the reason why he's probably not in there. But I'd have definitely put him in the squad, so he can feel hard done by, really, that he's not in there. Jadon Sancho, for me, I'd have him in the squad, because when I look at all these wide players that's in the squad, none of them offer what Sancho offers in terms of his decision making and his quality on the ball in the final third. So I'll definitely have him in there. I think looking at Gordon and Rashford, they both offer the same thing. And to me, the lineup that the squad that Tuchel was put together, you can see a lot of it's just based on a lot of pace, I would say, and again, there's not too much guile there. I look at all them wide players there that are going to be playing there. The only players really that have guile in this squad, you're looking at the likes of Eze and Cole Palmer, and possibly Foden. But will Eze and Palmer be playing in them positions? I don't know. So yeah, Sancho for me should definitely have been in the squad, but he's not. Rico Lewis had a poor season, so there's no surprise that Rico Lewis ain't included. Yeah, he hasn't been that great this season, and has dropped off from last season as well. John Stones, I don't know if John Stones is injured, but I think John Stones, more or less, his England career, I would say, is on the way out of the England squad, I would say, because I think he's injury prone, and England now need to be looking forward to replacing him, I would say. But I think he might be injured as well. The same with Lewis Hall. I think obviously for Newcastle, he's out injured as well. Danny Welbeck, I thought Danny Welbeck could have been with a shout. I think the likes of obviously England have two strikers, and Harry Kane's obviously a shoo-in. But I thought Welbeck could have been given a chance ahead of Solanke, I would say, because Welbeck would offer something different as well. And he's had a very good season as well, Danny Welbeck. Ollie Watkins was a surprise one there. I thought Tuchel would have liked Ollie Watkins for his pressing, you know, for his selfless running as well. And obviously the fact that Ollie Watkins is playing Champions League football, you know, I thought that would have given him like a head start ahead of the ahead of the likes of Solanke. But his admission, again, I didn't see that coming, you know. Jacob Ramsey, again from Aston Villa, was an outside chance. Anton Semenyo was an interesting one. I don't know if Anton Semenyo has committed to England or if he's chosen to play for, I can't remember what nation he's from. But for me, Semenyo, especially on that left-hand side, I thought he would have been called up. But again, I'm not sure if he's committed to another nation. But if he hasn't committed to another nation, again, he's someone that arguably should have been in there ahead of Rashford. So, yeah, that's a surprising one. Again, Smith Rowe, outside chance, plays as a 10. But as you mentioned with Gibbs White, that position in the team is stacked. Adam Walton, just returned from injury. Again, Adam Walton, for me, I'd have him ahead of Henderson as a footballer. So the fact that Adam Walton wasn't called up, you know, was surprising because it can't be based on he just returned from injury, because Dominic Solanke just returned from injury and he's in the squad. So the Walton one was surprising, just like James Maddison. But again, Maddison falls into the same thing as the Gibbs White, where he's a 10. But because there's other players that are in there for other reasons, he finds himself out of there, really, you know. Jed Spence for me should have 100% been in that squad, you know. If we're talking about Tino Livramento that can play both sides, Jed Spence can do the same thing and has proven that this season at Tottenham. And the fact that he's not in there is surprising, to be honest with you. So if I look at what's been picked, I would have had Jed Spence in there ahead of probably Quenda, because you've still got the likes of Byrne, Cole, Guehi, Konsa that can all play centre-back, you know. Two right-footed centre-backs, two left-footed centre-backs that can play left-back. So Jed Spence, for me, should have been ahead of Quenda. And you got Quanta, and then you got Jed Spence and Livramento that can both play either side. So I was surprised at that one. Jared Branthwaite, again, I'm surprised Branthwaite wasn't called up. You would have thought Branthwaite would have been called up ahead of someone like Dan Burn. You know, obviously, Branthwaite's obviously younger, you know, and obviously he's got the hype about him at the moment as well. So I'm surprised he didn't get called up, you know. So yeah, that was another surprise. And then you've got Liam Delap. I think Liam Delap is a top player, man. I think if you're looking at the eventual successor to Harry Kane, I think Liam Delap is the obvious one from what I'm seeing at the moment, you know. You know, isn't overly quick, just like Harry Kane, but back to goal, holding the ball up, technical off both feet, can score goals, hold up the play. You know what I mean? He's like a Harry Kane clone, I would say, in the way that he plays with the low socks, got the confidence as well. So yeah, I'm surprised that the lap wasn't called up ahead of Solanke, I would say, you know. And then you got the likes of Amari Hutchinson, had a good season as well. But again, he was more of an outside bet. The same with Leif Davis at Ipswich, the left back. You know, these guys are more outside bets. But for me, the lap was a definite for me to be in the squad. But obviously, they've gone with Solanke. And then, again, Tyler Dibbling. You know, I think Tyler Dibbling is going to be... I think if he goes to the right club, because he's not going to stay at Southampton, he's got too much quality to be staying at a team that's in the relegation places. I think if Tyler Dibbling goes to any top team, I think he can be one of the best players in the league. Like, I think he's that good, you know. You know, he has so much quality, but it's important he goes to the right team, you know, and has a manager that just lets him play freely, you know. A bit like, obviously, comparisons with Jack Grealish with the low socks. You know, obviously being left-footed, I'm looking at more like a Cole Palmer kind of player, you know. But I think for sure he should have definitely been in there. But yeah, I think a lot of these players that are not being picked can feel hard done by. But again, Tuchel has gone through his squad. So yeah, guys, that's the England squad for you against Albania and Latvia. Again, Two teams you expect England to put away with relative ease. So yeah, that's it really, man. But just gonna go on to some of the comments, guys. So your locals edits do says, can you give me 2 football clubs or nations in FC25 to play a match? So 2 football clubs to play a match. Okay, so I would say Barcelona and I'll say Barcelona and Inter Milan. So play Barcelona versus Inter Milan. See how Barcelona's attack can come up against the back three of Inter Milan. Or if you want to do nations, again, you can do a Spain, Germany, you know, that'd be a good contest. I think with Germany, if you want, for me, if they want to fit Musiala and Florian Wirtz in the same team, playing the back three is the way forward for Germany. Because when I had my team, because I'm in actual fact, I was actually Germany, and well, I'm actually Germany now, should I say, in FIFA. And the way I played my Germany team, I have Ter Stegen in goal, a back three, the captain Antonio Rudiger on the right, Jonathan Tah in the middle, and then the left side, Nico Schlotterbeck, obviously left-footed. That's my back three. And then my 2 in midfield, Joshua Kimmich, and next to him, I think I've got Gundogan. Again, I think if you're looking at Germany's team now, again, Gundogan's getting on a bit. You know, Robert Andrich is there. But I think if Germany was to get a proper midfielder next to Kimmich, you know, obviously Tony Kroos is no longer there, then they'll be frightening. But yeah, I play Gundogan and Kimmich in there. And then I play 2 wing-backs. I play Karim Adeyemi on the right-hand side. Ridiculous pace. And then I play Leroy Sané on the left-hand side. And then the 2 10s again, Florian Wirtz and what's his face? And Jamal Musiala. And then as the striker, I play either Yusufa Makoko or Kai Havertz, you know what I mean, as the false 9. So that's a team that I play, man. So yeah, give that a try against Spain and see how you get on. Spain, obviously, as we know, got a dangerous team. So yeah, give that a try. But yeah, big up for your comment, comment, your local edits, dudes. Anything else before we wrap? Guys, anything else before we wrap? Any more questions? Yeah, safe for coming on, people. Big up yourselves. So yeah, I would say be Germany, man. So from the team that I just said, it's a good balanced team. You know, you've got pace in the wide areas. You've got the quality and the skill and the creativity from Florian Wirtz and Jamal Musiala. You've got the tenacity and the passing ability in there of Joshua Kimmich and Gundogan. The back three, you've got pace, you've got strength, and you've got ball playing ability in Rudiger, Jonathan Tah, and Schlotterbeck. You've got a ball playing goalkeeper in Ter Stegen. So yeah, the whole makeup, and obviously you got a number 9, whether you want to play a false 9 or you want to play someone that's on the shoulder with pace in Makoko or Kai Havertz as a 9. For me, that'll be dangerous. So the formation, it's like a Christmas tree formation. So it's 3 at the back. It's like what Man United are playing now, really. 3 at the back. I'll say 3-4-2-1. 3-4-2-1. That's how I play Germany. Because the thing with Musiala and Florian Wirtz, for me, they're the key. So if you can get both of them in the same team, so I'll play Florian Wirtz from the left-hand side, because Florian Wirtz can cut in, and he's got a great shot on him. And then Musiala's pace can go on the outside as well. So, yeah, I think if you want to get the best out of Florian Wirtz and Musiala, play that formation, because it just means if you play a 4-2-3-1, one of them plays from the left or one of them plays in the 10. But I think if you play the 3-4-2-1, you've got both of them playing in the tens, you know. But also you've got Karim Adeyemi, who's got ridiculous pace to play on that right hand side, and that'll give the likes of Musiala to come in field and create problems. Again, with Leroy Sané on the left, that will give Florian Wirtz the ability to come inside as well. So, yeah, it's a good option, I would say, man. But yeah, big up for your questions. But guys, yeah, safer coming on. As I said, you know, Geovany Quenda looks like he's going to Chelsea. You know, Fabrizio Romano has spoken on Paul Pogba being open to offers, which I'm hoping one of the offers coming from United. Man United, obviously, again, get the job done against Real Sociedad, a poor Real Sociedad as well. And obviously, Thomas Tuchel has announced his England squad, which has a few surprises in there and not in there. So, yeah. So, big up. So, how's your day been? Yeah, my day's been good so far, you know. Obviously, weather's a bit up and down, you know, but obviously, weekend's around the corner. So, yeah, just looking forward to that. So your locals edits do says, can you go over the lineup again? So yeah, no problem, man. No worries. So if you're gonna play a 3-4-2-1, yeah, in goal, Marc-Andre ter Stegen. The three at the back, right side centre back, Antonio Rudiger. Left side centre back, Nico Schlotterbeck, and then in the centre, Jonathan Tah. And then the two in midfield, Joshua Kimmich and Ilkay Gundogan. The two wing backs on the right, Karim Adeyemi. On the left, Leroy Sané. And then the two tens, Florian Wirtz from the left, Jamal Musiala on the right. And then, all right, let me know, man. Let me know. Let me know what you've got, what players you've got up to. Yeah, people, big up, man. Guys, make sure smash that like button. Obviously, helps with the algorithms to reach more people. And subscribe to my channel at Gav Goes In. I think I'm about 15 away from 900 subscribers. So ter Stegen isn't in the reserves or the bench. He should be. The three keepers you should have are Neuer, ter Stegen, and I believe it might be Alexander Nubel. I think it might be. So yeah, let me know what you get up to, and then I'll. This sun's a bit temperamental, coming in and out. Bauman, Frank Bauman. You sure you're playing FC 25? Nubel, yeah. So if you go onto the national pool selection, just go and get ter Stegen. Can't you do that? Is there an option to do that on there? And trap, yeah. So where's ter Stegen then? Is he not there? Yes, people, big up for coming on, man. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how ter Stegen's not there, man. Well, in that case, again, just pick a keeper, you know, Trap or Nubel, I would say. But yeah, it should. So what? Isn't Manuel Neuer even in there either? If Neuer's there, put him in there. I'm surprised Neuer's not there, but yeah, I'm not too sure, man. But if anything, just pick a keeper. Okay, trap, yeah. And then the back three, so right side of the back three, you want Antonio Rudiger. So you want Rudiger on the right side of the back three, Jonathan Tah in the middle, and then Nico Schlotterbeck on the left. And that should be a 3-4-2-1 formation. Yeah, big up people for coming on. Guys, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel at Gav Goes In. So you put the back three in, yeah? Yeah, your local editor. Yeah, let me know what you got up to. If you put the back three in there. Okay. So in midfield, the two in midfield, you want Joshua Kimmich and you want Ilkay Gundogan in there. No, 3-4-2-1. So the two number 10s, and then a striker. So yeah, 3-4-2-1. Yeah, 3-4-2-1. What we're up to now? Oh yeah, Julian Brandt. Surprised Goodman's not there, but yeah, if you want to play, I mean, Brandt's a bit more attacking, so you might want to play him as a 10. But yeah, it's up to you, man. But as the right wing back, you want Karim Adeyemi from Borussia Dortmund. He's got ridiculous pace, so in the transition, he's a nightmare. What are you up to now, man? Okay, yeah. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure, but I'll just run through it again just so you're aware. 'Cause I'm gonna shoot now anyway. But as I said, man, yeah, it should be Ter Stegen in goal, back three of Antonio Rudiger on the right, Nico Schlotterbeck on the left, and Jonathan Tah as the middle centre back. And then the two wing backs should be Karim Adeyemi on the right, Leroy Sané on the left. The two in midfield should be Joshua Kimmich and Ilkay Gundogan. The two 10s on the left should be Florian Wirtz. On the right should be Jamal Musiala. And then the striker, if you're playing a false nine, Kai Havertz. Or if you want to play with a striker that's good on the shoulder, Yusufa Moukoko. So yeah, that should be the lineup for the Germany one. And yeah, to be fair, it's a dangerous team, to be fair. So yeah, but yeah, guys, I'm gonna shoot anyway. But safe for coming on. As I said, guys, big up yourself as well, man. Your local edits dude. Guys, make sure you put that notification on to see when I go live. Smash that like button and subscribe to my channel at Gav Goes In. And I'm gonna catch you guys in a bit. Take it easy.